ahead and get started. So hello everybody, I'm the crazy person. I'm Stephanie Richardson. It's so great to meet you guys. I've been a Beachbody coach for 11 and a half years. And let me tell you a little bit about my story. For those that don't know, my best friend's husband bought P90X and had this like amazing transformation. And he had always gone to the gym and would work out like an hour and a half and always looked a little bit fluffy, you know? And all of a sudden he started doing this program called P90X, if any of you remember that program back in the day, and started doing this program called P90X and had this amazing transformation. And he looked awesome, looked like he could be a part of a magazine. He looked so great. And so they were asked to be founding coaches because Beachbody decided instead of selling products just at Walmart and Target, they would have people like peer-to-peer selling, because what they found on the message boards was that the program was selling because people were selling it to their friends. They're like, what are you doing? I'm doing P90X. You look amazing. I want it. I want to go buy it. And they had these message boards. This is pre-social media. For those that are millennials and didn't know what message boards are. But yeah, they had these things called message boards. That was before social media. Yes, Rebecca, I see you. And so they would go and share with each other and help each other out and coach, and they weren't even making any money. So they said, hey, let's pay these people. So they flew Robert and Melissa out to California, asked them to be founding coaches. She called me, my best friend Melissa called me on the way home. She's like, you need to do this with me. You need to be a coach and sell P90X. Well, first off, P90X scared the crud out of me. So no, thank you. And two, I have avoided every single person that ever tried to get me to sell anything. Like, I have a fun, loud personality. I've never met a stranger. So a lot of people always approach me about, starting businesses, but I was like, heck no, I don't want to sell something where people will run the other way when they see me. I don't want to have home parties. I hate home parties. So like, I am not all about that. So anyway, a couple months later, she was telling me about the business. I was asking just to be nice. And she said, yeah, the company gives me customers. And I was like, now what? She's like, yeah, I just help them online. I'm like, so you don't have to have home parties? She's like, no. And I'm like, and you get some free customers every once in a while? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, maybe I need to know more about this, because at the time my husband was telling me I needed to get a job, and I did not want to get a job. I was a stay-at-home mom, and the light at the end of the tunnel was happening. My son was going to kindergarten, and I was going to have free time to go to lunch with my friends and go shopping without a child attached somewhere other than Target. And I was so excited, but my husband knew that I would spend money I didn't have. And so those of you that have been in our Cash for Christmas group, you understand, my drama with money is that I struggled, with staying on a budget. And so that was something that I knew he was right. He's like, you're going to spend money you don't have. And I come from a long line of diabetes and obesity, and I didn't want to pass that on to my children. And I could already tell that was going to be a struggle with my kids. And so I thought, if I could be accountable to my fitness, make $100, get him off my back about getting a job, because he really just wanted me to be busy. Great. So I started doing it, started loving it, found something for myself, found something that was just like so much fun. I got to help other people. It was such a blessing. I was like, this is so much fun. Maybe there are other moms like me or other people like me who really want to have this little something for themselves that's apart from taking care of their kids or their day job or whatever it is. And it's something that was so rewarding. People kept saying, thank you, Stephanie, for helping me. And I started to get awards from the company, and people were thanking me. I mean, how many of you get thanked by your children for helping them be potty trained? No, right? So anyway, so it was just such a huge blessing for me to be like getting accolades for just like helping people. Like, that was huge. And getting to go to fun parties and travel and that sort of thing. So I thought, hey, maybe this is there's other people. And so people started to join me. I started to invite other people to join me. And my team started to grow, and I was able to grow, retire. So my husband was able to go work for a nonprofit and take a huge pay cut. And then when my dad was getting worse, he was dying of brain cancer, we were able to move back to Texas. We were able to put our kids in private school. We were able to buy them a swimming pool, which they always dreamed of. And I was able to also able to retire my husband. And And the cool part is, you know, it's just absolutely changed our family, but it's also changing my coaches' lives. I'm watching them pay off debt and buy better houses and be able to stay home with their kids. And I'm watching all these life changes, like, you know, being just like they're able to be more present with their families. They're able to dream again. They're able to pay for dance lessons. Like there's just so many cool things that they're able to do because of Beachbody. And so that is quickly my story. Probably went a little bit long, but and so that's basically my story. But it's not really all about me tonight. It's really more about you. And so that's why you're here. So we want to see how, so I want you to kind of see how this can actually fit into your lifestyle. And so tonight I want you to start dreaming again. That's something that I had kind of stopped doing. And maybe you guys are on this phone call too, and you've kind of stopped dreaming as well. Like you're like, okay, this is just my life. This is where I am. I'm not going anywhere. And this is just how it's going to be. And that's where I was too. And so tonight I want you to allow yourself to dream. Like what were some of the dreams that you had 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago? What are some of the dreams that you still have that you still want to accomplish? And start thinking about that and seeing if Beachbody would be an avenue for you to achieve those dreams. But first I want to introduce you to my sweet friend, Liz. Liz has been so amazing. She is actually, she's going to share her story and kind of tell you what coaching has done for you and for her, and just kind of share a little bit about her. So Liz, I'm going to let you share. I can't hear you yet. Is your volume up? We may have to let Terry take it next. See if your volume works. It worked yesterday. No, you're fine. I promise you, Terry's off, and every time I have technical difficulties, it's just part of it. Not yet. Okay, we'll work on your sound, and then I am going to move on to our next part. She's going to talk a little bit about how Beachbody's helped her, but I want to talk really quickly about how Beachbody can fit into any schedule. And what we call them coaching pockets or cracks of time is what we call them. And basically, a lot of people are like, I'm so busy, I have a full-time job, or I have little kids at home and they're crazy. What we have found is there's so much time that's wasted. I mean, I just heard a statistic like the average person spends 116 minutes a day on social media. There's so many little pockets of time that we don't realize that we can use to move our lives forward. So what our coaches do is, I mean, first off, our workouts are super efficient. You know, you work out from home. You don't have to drive to a gym and drive home and put the kids in daycare, you know, and all that stuff. Like you're done. Like 30 minutes, you're done. And so a lot of our coaches will use time to message people and follow up with people in the mornings, you know, before or after their workouts. They get dressed, they go about their day. The kids take a nap, they message a couple more people. The kids wake up, they enjoy their day, and then maybe at night they follow up with a couple people, return some messages. That's basically what we do. We help people online. We help them. We have online fitness groups that we help them with, and then we also coach people to do what we do. And so we just do that, and we find people that we can help, and we just do those in those little cracks of time throughout the day. And I'm looking at a lot of people on this call, a lot of coaches that are on the call that are busy, like have crazy full-time jobs or have a crazy family life with a million kids, and they're still able to find those little cracks of time that they're able to work their business. And that means just finding people to help, helping them along in their journey, and just being a great example and a product of the product. And so that is something that Beachbody has totally been able to do for me. You know, I didn't want to work when my kids were home. So I would work the business while they were at school, and I was able to still be with them, you know, when I wanted to be at their soccer practices or their soccer games or whatever. And I was able to dictate the hours that I spent. And I knew with those little pockets of time, the more efficient I was during those times, the better off my business would be. So coaching really does fit any schedule. So I know a lot of you are like, okay, I'm already so busy. How am I going to do that? But coaching does really do help it fit any schedule. So, and you know, one of the things that I feel like that coaching has done for me is help me make so many friends. You know, it was sometimes lonely as a stay-at-home mom, and just in general, sometimes just it was hard to make friends. And one of the cool things about being a part of our team is I've made all these, like what I call my sisters, you know, and I feel like I'm their big sis, you know, and we made all these friends, that people that lift us up, that encourage us, that push us to do better, don't let us settle when we want to, you know, give up. And that has been so much fun. Now, the way that we also get to earn some incredible income, and the way we earn income is we get 25% off whatever we want to buy, so we can, you know, get a discount, but then we also earn 25% of whatever we sell. And that is an incredible way to, you know, make money. So 25% of whatever you sell, you make money. And the cool thing is, if someone buys, say someone buys a challenge pack, and a challenge pack is like, let's say there's different kinds of challenge packs, but just for tonight, let's say it's Lift 4, a workout program on Beachbody On Demand that's a, you know, a whole year of that, and then a bag of Shakeology. They combine those and they call them a challenge pack. So as that challenge pack is like $170, as a coach, you earn, it's $60, right? I want to make sure I'm saying that right. You earn $60 as a coach. And so you actually get more than 25% on challenge packs. And so you earn that 25%. The next month, that customer loves Shakeology so much. I mean, y'all, this sold out in 24 hours. So people love Shakeology so much. After the next month, they buy Shakeology again, and that's called residual income. So what you sell this month, you also make next month. So that Shakeology, they love it so much. This month you make that commission. The next month you make what's called residual income off that Shakeology, and your commission on Shakeology is $30. And so that's awesome. And that just can compound so over time. And then the other way you can earn money is developing a team. So the majority of my check is from our team. Our team was started with me, and it has grown to about 20,000 people. And it's just me inviting a couple people, and those people inviting a couple people, and so forth and so on. Over time, we have built this incredible team. And so anything that our team sells, we get the benefit of that. So the people above you, as they, you know, if they place people below you, you earn off whoever is in your downline. You earn off whatever they sell or whatever they make. Now that's super high level, but just know it's just really great. Now, how is this different from if I just decided, okay, Stephanie, I really don't want to do this. I want to just open an Etsy store, let's say. I think this is why I love this separate than just like, I mean, I know there's so many people probably on here that thought like, and we've been in this Cash for Christmas group, and we've been thinking about like, okay, I want to, you know, I'm just going to sell bobbleheads. You know, I'm just going to sell bobbleheads on Etsy. Okay. I made these awesome bobbleheads, and I'm going to sell these bobbleheads. That's Joel, for those of you who want to know who that is. So I want to just sell these bobbleheads, and that's what I'm going to do. Okay. So if you have an Etsy store and you want to sell bobbleheads, you have to pay for this. You have to continue to find customers every single month, and they're one and done, right? They buy a bobblehead. They don't want a bobblehead from you next month, right? So you have to continually find customers every single month. The cool thing about having a product that people want every month, like that's what grocery stores do, right? You buy stuff at the grocery store, then you have to go back to the grocery store because you have to replenish what you've already had, right? So that's kind of the same thing. So that's similar to this. It's like residual income. When someone buys this, they need to replenish it. And so that's what the beauty of residual income is. And then something that's not like a grocery store is, you know, or I guess if you're the CEO and you have a lot of grocery stores, you earn money off what those people do, right? What all your stores sell, okay? So that's super high level, but I wanted to say that's kind of how we earn money. and we get paid weekly. We get paid every Thursday, and you get set direct deposit. And you know, for me, it was awesome because I was able to help people start their fitness, and then I was able to pay for Christmas presents that first year, and that was such a huge, rewarding feeling for me to be able to do that because I was a stay-at-home mom. You know, like I said, and it was so cool. And I remember going shopping with one of my friends who thought I was super skeptical. She was super skeptical about, you know, what I was doing. And we went shopping, and I was like, you know, I'm like, I'm going to use my money that I earned from Beachbody to pay for Christmas presents this year. And she's like, wait, that's like a legit business. It's not like one of those scams. And I'm like, no. And she's like, well, you look great. You seem so much happier. I think I need to do this with you. And she did. And now she's in the Million Club. She's earned over $1 million with Beachbody. And she is like a totally different person because of that. And so, you know, when it comes at Christmas time, it's just always such a good feeling because I remember, you know, shopping with Julie and being so proud that I got to pay for Christmas presents that year. But okay, so I've talked way too much. Liz, have you figured out your sound?
Can you hear me?
Yay, it worked.
I had to go to my phone. My computer last time I got on here, it didn't work either. So here I am. I'm here. Okay, where do I start? My name's Liz Bradley. Hi, everybody. I can't see all your faces because I'm on my little phone. So I'll just look at a couple of you. But I actually got into Beachbody through Stephanie. So we've known each other for years, basically through her dad, who I worked for many, many years ago. My husband and I both worked for him, and we loved him. And so we kind of knew of Stephanie. We always felt like we knew her because of him. He always talked about her. So that's just a little tidbit about that. So over the years, I had watched Stephanie, and she was always been such a great encourager, and I could always see her pouring into people's lives. And yet I knew she was making money, and I knew that she was fit and all this stuff. And she loved what she did, what she was doing. And I was like, man, I just love that about her. And so we had connected a little bit here and there. And my husband and I moved to Honduras. We lived there for 4 years, and I had a baby. She's 2 now, and I have an 8-year-old. But I had a lot of health issues and a lot of things going on that caused me that thyroid issue that can cause me to continue to gain weight. I grew up, my mom was always in fitness, and so she'd always, try to tell me how to do stuff, and I was like, but just not having things myself that I could just do, and trying to always like have her tell me stuff, or grab stuff from the internet, or go here and there, and I didn't really have time to go to the gym, and where we lived, you just couldn't really go to the gym, and so I just struggled with that. So became a customer and would do the Beachbody on demand in Honduras when I was pregnant with my baby girl. And I would do the different workouts and stuff like that. But I came to a point where I just kept gaining weight. My thyroid was messed up. I had a lot of health issues. Fast forward to move back to the States. And I was like, okay, I have to get healthy. I have to get well. I have to figure this out. I'm exhausted. I can't do workouts aren't working. I just don't have the big picture. I can't figure it out. And so Stephanie was doing the test group of 2B Mindset, which I don't know if any of you ladies, I don't know if there's any men on here, but have done the 2B Mindset. But I started it, and I'm telling you, it was like a night and day difference. Everything in my life changed so much. Just my energy level, my health, so much changed. And I told Stephanie, I was like, I want to be all, she was like, are you ready? Are you ready this time? Because she would just ask, are you ready? Are you ready? And I was always like, not really. Like, I want to help people, but I need to help myself first, I think. And she's like, okay. And she wouldn't pressure me or anything. But one day she was like, well, let me know when you're ready. And then it was kind of like she just left the ball in my court, And then I finally was like, nope, I feel better. I'm ready. I want other people to see what I'm getting, like what I'm doing for my health. And I want to help other women and other people gain their lives back, because I started gaining my life back. I mean, I was like in a dark place I felt like I was in a dark place for a while. And it was like all this stuff started lifting. And then once I got in with my best friend, we started doing the 2B Mindset, and she became a coach. under me. We did it together, and now we're helping. We have 27 women right now that are doing the 2B mindset with us in this group, and it has been amazing to see the transformation. And so becoming a coach to me at first was oh, there's no way I can do that. I don't have time for that. I don't have the energy for that. And then all of a sudden it was like, I do. I talk to people all the time. I'm always talking to people about different things. Why could I not talk to them about my health and fitness? Why can I not share this with them in just my conversations? Not being salesy, just saying, I feel better. I look like I'm feeling better because I've lost 20 pounds since the 1st of June. And people see that. And so because I have a physical transformation, but also my mental transformation and my energy, and so much of my life has changed, I feel like it's important for me to make the time to reach out to people, because if I don't tell them and I don't help them, who will? They're going to go to the gym and be just, I'm not knocking the gyms. I think the gym, but I'm saying, like, there's something about the accountability. There's something about knowing that Stephanie's always going to check up on me, or my friend Kristen's always going to check up on me. We're there for each other. We're building a community. I check in with my ladies every single day because it's important to me and it's important to them, and they don't have anyone else doing it. So it's like, if I don't do it, or Kristen, my friend, or Stephanie, if we don't do it, who's going to do it? People just like fall along the wayside and they don't know where to turn. And so I feel like when you give them a way to, when you're that person for them, and even if you're not 100% on top of it, your fitness, you haven't reached all your goals, I think people see progress and they see that you're in the same place they are. And so the fact that you can be real, and they say you're a real person, and they see that you have a family and you can still do this business, you just carve out a little bit of time here and there. I don't do it all day long, but I carve out a little bit here and there where I can just send my ladies a message. I can invite people. I can talk to them. How are you doing? Like, how do you feel? And so my story is just basically that I didn't think I could do it. Stephanie was just encouraged me. When I started getting healthy and well for myself, then I realized I could do it. I realized that this is not hard. It's just community. It's community. It's a different kind of community. And so I wanted to pay for my Shakeology, honestly. Originally, I was like, I'm going to do it too because I just want to pay for my Shakeology because I need it. Like, I need that energy. I need Shakeology in my life. I need Energize in my life. And so I want to help pay for my daughter when she turns 5 to go to the same private school that we're sending my son to. I want that. And so I know over time my income can build, and it's possible for me if I set my goals and I just do it a little bit at a time. And I'm not looking to be, a millionaire, right? I'm not trying to look at like a unrealistic goal, but I'm setting myself short goals to reach bigger goals. And so I just feel like the more people that we can help, the more people will get beyond the epidemic of obesity, and living in a way that and just in a way that we feel very withdrawn. And so it's just a different mindset for me now, and a different concept. So anyways, I needed to improve my health, and I did, and I feel like I can't hold it in, and I can't keep it to myself. And I want other people to be in the same place that I am right now. And I'm not at my end goals. I just want to show them every day. It just takes a little bit to, as a customer and as a coach. As a coach, I feel like you have a beautiful opportunity to invest in other women who may not ever have anyone invest in them. But when you reach out to them, that shows them someone cares. And so I think that's what this is about, is having a team, having fun together, but also just being like, it's okay, I got you, girl. Don't worry. You can talk to me about your health and wellness, and we can just be on this journey together, even though we're not experts. So
I love that.
I hope that gives
yes,
a little bit
so awesome. Yes, and you've lost 20 pounds.
Yes.
Just hit the 20-pound mark since June.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then how much has Beth lost?
She's lost 52 pounds.
52 pounds?
Since July 1st.
Since July 1st, she's lost 52 pounds. And then Kristen's lost
25 since mid-May.
So awesome. So it's just like this ripple effect. Like they feel great. They can't wait to help other people feel great. And
Yeah.
it's been so awesome. Thank you so much, Liz, for sharing your story. It's so awesome.
Here.
Yes. Okay, Miss Terry.
You know, it's black magic on here with technology.
Always. We always call, Terry and I always call technology black magic because we're the same age. We're both, are you 45 yet?
I'll be 44 this month, October.
44. Okay, so I'm a year older than Terry, and so we're not so good at social media. We're not so good at computers, but we've come a long way, baby.
I think I have. I've cried my way through lots of things, but I figured it out.
My husband says the same thing about me. He's like,
if we can do it, anyone can do this business.
People look and they think, oh, well, Terry knows how to do everything. And I really don't. I've learned it. And, and the only reason I've learned it is because, when you talk to so many people, you get tired of saying the same thing over and over and over. So I've learned different ways to figure out how not to have to say the same thing over and over. But Stephanie says I need to build more relationships. So anyway, we'll talk more. I'm different than both of these other ladies because I didn't really have a huge physical transformation. Mine has been more mental. And, my daughter wrote that in the background. I'm out in my garage gym, so none of the kids bother me right now, but fitness is therapy. And that's kind of been what how I got here. I got here because I was a stay-at-home mom for 12 years. I had 3 small children, and then unfortunately ran myself into a divorce. And so I had to go back to work. I'm a school counselor by education. Thankfully, I had my education before the divorce, so I could go back to work. But I had been a stay-at-home mom for 12 years, and once I got back into the school system and started working, you think you know what teachers do until you're actually in that school, and you're like, whoa, what is happening here? This is very exhausting. And so in my school, there's 1,200 children. If I'm the school counselor and they're all crying, they're all coming to me. So when I got home every single day, I had 3 kids. Then eventually I got remarried. My husband has 2 kids. And then there's all of these kids. And I just wanted everyone to be quiet and to stop talking to me. And I was a miserable person. I was angry at myself. I felt guilty for having got to the divorce stage. And I just couldn't take it anymore. But through my divorce, I ran a lot. And I somehow ran myself into an ankle injury, so I couldn't run anymore. So I didn't know what to do. So I knew I needed some sort of nutrition component, and I needed some sort of exercise that wasn't running because I couldn't run anymore. And I knew I didn't want to become like the teachers at the school who didn't take care of themselves. They didn't put themselves as a priority because they were taking care of everyone else. And so one day, I did not know Stephanie at all. One day, my husband, he's friends with Stephanie, and that's how I met her. He saw on his Facebook page that she made a Facebook post that said, "Are you a stay-at-home mom who loves fitness?" And I was like, yes, that's me. I want to be that. And so my husband said, "Do you want me to have her call you?" And so we talked on the phone. I think it was like 10 minutes. I have no idea what she said. She told me all the things she just told you all, and you probably will get off here and you will not remember anything that she said. But so 10 minutes into the conversation, I was like, I don't know what she said, but I need that because I want to be a stay-at-home mom. And I don't want to work anymore at that school. And so my main focus was freedom of time to be my own boss and do my own thing. I had no idea if what she was saying was true or not. I never even Googled it. I just was like, I'm getting my credit card and I'm buying this stuff. And so I didn't look up anything. I didn't ever heard of Shakeology before. I never heard of Beachbody before. All I knew was I needed something nutrition-wise, and I needed some sort of 30-minute workout because I was already going to the gym 3 hours a day and I was exhausted. So whatever she told me, I was like, well, at least I can get the discount if I sign up as a coach. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get the discount and do this. So I drank the Shakeology at school because I worked full time there. So at lunch, I drank it. And it was simple to do because I was so tired of looking up Pinterest and trying to figure out how to be healthy and make my lunchbox and take it to school. So I just left the bag of Shakeology there and the peanut butter and my milk, and it was all there. And then the teachers would come in and be like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And so I'm like, oh, you want to sample it? You want to sample it? You want to sample it? So they did. And they were all like, oh, this is very good. This is very good. And so then I had won a fitness competition. You know how work companies put together Biggest Loser things, challenges, and this and that. So I had won the challenge the year before, and a different teacher had led it, but he'd left the school. So they all wanted me to lead it. And that was about the same time as 21 Day Fix came out. That's one of the Beachbody programs, the one with the colored containers that came out. So I've been a coach since 2014. That's when it first released in February 2014. I asked the principal, can I talk about this program with the other teachers while I lead this Biggest Loser thing for the school? And she said, okay, that's cool. So that's what I did. Well, I sat home, you know, in between. A school counselor is not like a teacher. You don't have to be in the classroom all day. So I was just kind of wandering around the school, and I'd go check in on the teachers, because that's part of my job, is checking in on the teachers and the school. Hey, how are you? Whatever. Somehow the conversation would always lead to being a Beachbody coach. But again, I didn't have time really to do anything extra because I was already only sleeping 4 hours a night. My husband worked from home, so he liked to stay up till midnight, but I had to get up at 5, and he wanted me to stay up. And so I did my best, but I was miserable. And every morning I would wake up and he'd still be sleeping till 9 o'clock. And I would look at him and I just was so resentful. Like, why are you still sleeping? You made me stay up. I'm only sleeping 4 hours. I just can't do this. So at least being a Beachbody coach gave me a positive light and an energy, because I was excited to go to school, whereas I hadn't been before, because I was getting to talk about this cool new program. So it was January of 2014 when 21 Day Fix came out. We had this huge snowstorm, and I live in South Carolina, and it was really an ice storm, but it doesn't really do that here. But they closed everything because it was like 1 inch of ice on the roads, and they didn't know what to do. So anyway, we stayed home, and I was talking with all the teachers from home through either email or Facebook Messenger, as we do as coaches a lot of times. And so I was like, well, this is pretty fun. I like this. I'm in my pajamas. I'm sitting on my couch, and my kids are here, and that's cool. Well, the next week I got a paycheck, and it was almost the exact same thing as I made as a school counselor. So this is a cool little hobby. I'm making this same amount. So, because remember, there can be a discount coach. You can just get the products and earn the discount, and maybe you get your 25% off of your products, whatever. But then there's a hobby coach where it was kind of like me. I was working full time at the school. I was, taking care of my 3 kids. My husband has his 2 kids and running around. So it's hobby. I'm doing it in between all the other things that I'm doing. But I just noticed that I was making almost the same amount. So I always track what I was spending, and we were spending about $700 a month eating out, because remember, I didn't have any time. So then I started thinking, how can I tweak my income or what I'm doing with my budget so that maybe I could just do this full time and stay at home? So I thought about that for a few weeks or so, or whatever. And I told Stephanie, I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to become a Beachbody coach full time. She's like, oh, no, you can't do that. And I was like, oh yeah, I can do that. And she, against her better judgment, Stephanie tells me lots of things that I don't always listen to. It takes me a little bit of time to get there. But anyway, I did it anyway. I quit my job. And one, please don't run off and quit your job and become a Beachbody coach full time right at first. Because while I probably shouldn't have done that, and I probably still shouldn't have done that, but I am 200% happier. I don't care even if I'm, wherever I am. It doesn't matter. Because one thing I did learn in my divorce was don't stay miserable, because if you went through all of that and then you're still miserable, where did you get in life, right? So you have to stay present and be focused on what you want and what makes you happy. And this makes me happy. So, like I said, I'm a school counselor, and maybe I get into people's business a little bit too much, and I learn lots of things that maybe, I don't really necessarily need to know as a Beachbody coach. But it fills my cup and I like it. And, you know, eventually it's going to, I don't know if you ever seen the picture of the diamond miner, and he's mining. And, you know, one picture is, you know, he has this far to go, and one picture he only has this far, but you only see that one same picture. That's me. I'm keeping on mining and, you know, keeping on going. And it just fills my cup so much. So now I am a full-time coach. So I went from discount coach to just getting the discount on the Shakeology to being a hobby coach while I worked full-time. In the cracks of time, I listened to different calls on the way to work, on the way home from work. I even snuck in my office every day. We had calls with Stephanie at 11 o'clock on Wednesdays, and I was in my counselor office. Oh, I'm busy. I have a meeting, but it was always with Stephanie. And she invited me to be in a group. Every Tuesday night, we got on a call, and it was just accountability with other coaches. So that was cool. Trying to learn the ropes. You know, the biggest thing is you feel like you have to know everything before you get here and before you start working your business, and you really don't. It's a learn as you go, and, people ask you questions, and, you know, you just kind of learn as you go. So when I have to tell the story, and then I'll finish with this. The principal at the school, I thought about quitting for several months. I went to her, and I always thought she didn't like me. And so I went to her to tell her I was going to quit the job. And she told me, you know, you have to let me know by this such a date, whatever. I said, okay, I don't need to beat around the bush anymore. You need to get a good school counselor, and everybody's shifting right now, and I don't want you to lose, you know, on a good one. So I'm just putting in my notes. And she said, I knew this was going to happen. And as soon as I signed the papers, she went to her purse, and I'm not kidding you, I think she's probably around 56-ish or so. Again, she's been a principal for many years. She's about to retire. She is overweight, unfortunately, and very exhausted and tired. Nice lady, but like I said, I always thought she hated me. She got to her purse. She pulled out a picture of her when she was like mid-20s. She used to do triathlons, very thin. She started crying and was like, I wish I was you and could have the courage to do what you're doing, because here I am, and I'm just so stuck in this hole right now. I don't believe she's stuck in the hole, but she believes she's stuck in the hole. And so it just meant a lot to me that, you know, I found out that she really didn't hate me. And so, and we still keep in touch, and she's big cheerleader on Facebook. But, you know, as a parent now, staying at home, I get up in the morning, I get my kids off to school. I work about an hour and a half, just kind of checking in with my current people that I have going. I like to play tennis, and Stephanie doesn't like that I play so much tennis, but I like to play tennis. And so I do that sometimes. And then in the afternoons, about 2 o'clock, because my kids come home around 4, I work again from 2 to 4, and then have dinner. We go to all the sports events. To usually come home 8:30, 9 o'clock or whatever, and then I'll work sometime, you know, follow-up messages, maybe another hour. So that's the cracks of the day, that it is, you know, a little bit in the morning, hour in the afternoon, an hour in the evening. So that's how I roll.
Okay, that is hilarious. Now everyone thinks I'm like a dictator, saying, you can't do that, you can't do this.
No, Stephanie is not a dictator. She gently suggests things because she's been here, and like she said, she's your big sister, and she only wants to help you.
And isn't that so like a big sister that tells you, like, you shouldn't do that? And of course, what happens to the little sister? The little sister does it anyway, and then the little sister's like, you were right, and then comes back and says you were right.
I have to find my own way. You have to
exactly. But you know, that's the cool thing about this business. You're your own boss. I'm not your boss. You don't have a boss. Like, I can guide you for the way that I feel like you should go, but it's your choice whether or not you do that. And that's how our team is. We give you the most incredible tools. We have tools that are available to you 24/7. So you can do those things in the cracks of time. We have training for you. We really do help you, set you up for success, but it is up to you to make it happen. It's up to you to make, you know, do those things to make it happen. And you know, do your personal development, do those vital behaviors of, you know, being a product of the product, and doing personal development, inviting people, and recognizing those other people that are doing a great job, and just having that gratitude. That's your job. I can't do that for you. And so, anyway, so tonight, I hope we didn't go too long, but thank you for letting us share our stories and a little bit about what coaching is all about. So this is what I want you to do. If you haven't already, if you're on the call live, go ahead and put in the chat who has invited you so we know who's invited you so we can do a drawing if you're a guest. Only, no, not of coach. If you're a guest of someone, share who invited you, and then also so we can do this drawing for Shakeology. And I want to just say, okay, so you've been thinking, you've heard our story. I've asked you to start dreaming big again for your life and to see if Beachbody can be a fit into your life. And there's 3 options for you. One is sign me up. I am ready. I'm ready to be a coach. I want to be a part of this crazy bunch, and I am ready to be a coach. If you are a 1, I want you to go to the person who invited you and say, hey, I am a 1, okay? Reach out to them because they may not know that you're on the call. So go to them and say, hey, I'm a 1. I'm ready to sign up. I'm ready to start changing my life and changing other people's lives. Or you can be like, you know what, I'm a 2. And a 2 is like, you know what, I'm not quite ready to start a business, but I just want to work on my own journey. And that's okay too. We suggest, you know, if that's what you want to do, that is amazing. So say I'm a 2. I'd love to join one of your 2B mindset groups or one of your fitness groups, and I'm a 2. Or you can say I'm a 3. And if you're a 3, that means, you know what, this is not for you, but you would love to refer people to the person that invited you. Okay, so you can either be a 1, like I'm all in, let's do this, let's go after our dreams and make them happen. A 2, you know, I'm not quite ready for the business yet, but I'd love to start working on me through 2B mindset or a fitness group. Or a 3, you know, this is not quite for me right now, but I'd love to refer people to you. Okay, so go to the person that invited you and say if you're a 1, 2, or 3, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and end this. Make sure you post in here, and then I will reach out to you if you put your person's name who invited you in the chat, and then that's how I'll be able to keep up with it. And I'm going to end the call, go through, and then I'm going to reach out to the coach who invited you once I do the drawing, and they will message you and we'll get your address to send you the Shakeology. So thank you so much for your time. I look forward to welcoming you to our team. We have a lot of fun. We do a lot of great things, and I just look forward to having you. So thank you guys.